Hello again, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator and I'm here today to share with you a very simple card using the Heartfelt Wishes stamp set that's available right now in our July to December mini catalog. However, it is on the retired list, and so it is available through January 3rd or while supplies last. It's got great scripty font, both for Christmas, which is the card I will show you, as well as other holidays and some small images that work great for on the inside. You can purchase this through my online store, justalittleink.stampinup.net. Anytime. You can click on any of the links that are embedded in the description of this video, or you may go to my blog where I also will have all of the measurements, justalittleink.com, and I'll also have other photos of the other samples that I will show you at the end of this video. So let me share with you, it again, super simple and very quick. You will need the stamp set Heartfelt Wishes. You're also going to want a half a sheet of cardstock. I am using Misty Moonlight. It is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches and scored in the center along that 8.5 inch side at 4.25. You'll also want whatever cardstock you're using for your base. You want a piece of the same color, cut 1.125 inches by 5.25 inches. You'll want some basic white. I used a piece of scrap from some other project I had that's 1 inch by 5.25 inches. And then you're going to need also one piece of basic white that is 4 inches by 5.25, as well as a piece of Designer Series paper. Here I am using the beautiful Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. It's available in our annual catalog. Lots of different prints for different seasons, which I think is great. It's also cut at 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then you'll want some sort of embellishment. Here I'm using the Wonderful Gems. Again, these are in our July to December mini catalog, so available while supplies last or January 3rd, whichever comes first. I'm also going to use some Misty Moonlight ink. And then I'm going to pull out my Stamparatus because I'm going to show you how fast and simple this card is, and especially once you have everything laid out, it goes together so quick. So let's begin. And don't forget that if you love this video, if you would, please like and share it. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd be so appreciative if you would do so today. So I'm going to do the little bit of stamping that we're going to do first. And that's going to require that I use this 1 inch by 5.25 inch piece. You want to pick up, you can use scrap paper, but these little small grid papers that are available in our annual catalog are so great. They fit in here perfectly. They already have grid lines, 2 sides. One is centimeters and the other is inches, but either one works. Here I'm using the centimeter side. I lined up my cardstock how I want it, and then I drew a line around it just so I know exactly where I want to place it. And I'm going to pull out my magnets. Just need to grab a little bit on the edge, and I put some retired washi on just to kind of keep it in place. I'm going to open up my Misty Moonlight ink, and I'm going to kind of show you. So these plates come in and out. I have attached both greetings already on here, but what I did is I lined up my greeting stamp side down on this side, then I put in my plate and pushed it down, and the sticky part of this cling stamp stuck to the one side of my plate. So then I can open up, I'm going to ink. I want to be careful not to over ink, though with a Stamparatus it helps you to not need to do too much. So I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to press. And the nice thing is that I have more choices. From here it looks like I could use a little more pressure on this end. Beautiful. If I was curious, I could ink it again. I'm going to pull out. So I have my greeting for the front ready. It's ready to be layered. And then I'm going to put in my piece, my 1/4 inch piece on the inside. Again, I lined it up where I wanted it to be. I'm going to kind of get in here, and again, just put my magnets. You want to keep them opposite each other. Slide, they stick to the magnetic plate so very well. So I'm going to pull this out, turn it around. Again, I had put my greeting for the inside on my paper, put my plate in and pushed it down and grabbed it so it's on here. I'm going to ink it up. Come down, and I'm going to put some pressure on the inside. I'm avoiding this edge because I find it is harder to get a good inking if you're too close to the corners. So I'm going to pull it out. So we've got Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year already. So I smudge that a little bit. I can put my ink away so I don't drop something on top of it. Always a good idea to put your inks away. I'm going to put this over out of the way. Easy cleaning with our Simply Chamois. So then I'm going to pull out my 1/4 or my 1/2 sheet of cardstock, my card base, and I'm going to go ahead. I've already scored it. I'm going to fold it in half, match up those opposite ends, and I'm going to pull out my bone folder. Burnish on the one end just so I get a nice crisp edge. I'm going to layer my Merry Christmas, pull out my Stampin' seal, just a little adhesive on the ends. Line up, these are matched exact the same length, but they're just, the misty moonlight behind is just barely bigger, so that I have just a little bit of layering. So then I'm going to put my inside greeting on the inside, a little bit of adhesive, line up my inside. You could do other stamping if you wanted, but the beauty is this is fast. When you need a quick card and it's close to Christmas and you're not even sure if it's going to make it, this is a great one to send. See, and this would be beautiful if you were doing a greeting with much gratitude. Same paper. Whoops. Literally same paper. I'm going to pull out my adhesive remover. We used to sell these. Don't sell them anymore. But when you use the wrong side, it's a great thing to take that adhesive off so that I'm not lined up the wrong way. So I'm going to layer. This is the wintry scene from this Beauty of the Earth paper. I'll show you. I've got one other card I did that uses a different print from the same package of Designer Series paper. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal again. I'm not putting any dimensionals on this. It's a very flat card, easy for mailing. Line it up like so. You could put and position your greeting however you'd like. I've chosen to stick it pretty much in the center. Then I'm going to pull out my Take Your Pick tool and some of the clear and gold gems from the Wonderful Gems, and I'm just going to set a few of them in here. I'm going to put one here. I like threes. If you've watched my videos, you know I like threes. So I'm going to kind of scatter a couple of them up and a couple of them, well, and one down. And just like that, I have completed a simple Christmas card ready to send in just seconds. However, it's so good for so many other things. This is, again, the same Beauty of the Earth Designer Series papers, but this is a fall print. And I layered it onto some Merry Merlot, and I used early espresso ink to stamp the Much Gratitude. And I could put a greeting on the inside. I did not on this one. Figured I could write a note. Here I am using some of the beautiful prints that come with this pet set. I'll have to pull out my catalog to tell you where it's at because I did not think ahead to tell you that in advance. Here we are. It's from the Sweet Stockings suite, and it's the Sweet Stockings paper. It may or may not still be available. Here I put it on a piece of cherry cobbler and with cherry cobbler ink. And then finally, I'm using the Sending Love. This designer series paper is paper you can choose when you either purchase $150 or host a party and have sales in $150 or more. And it is the Pattern Party designer series papers. You get 4 each of 12 different double-sided designs. All the other sides are black and whites. Adorable and very wonderful paper, very colorful on the one side. The other side of this is a black and white stripe. And I did on it put a inside greeting. But you can see how different all of these cards end up looking, how many different images, how many different occasions you could create in no time at all. Thank you again for joining me again. I would so appreciate you liking and sharing this video, and of course, subscribing if you haven't already. If you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. So you can order anytime, justalittleink.stampinup.net. Until the next time, bye.